She said it so casually, like it meant nothing. I cheated. I needed a real man. And then she smiled like it was a joke, like I wasn't the one she just stabbed in the chest in front of everyone. Our friends were all around us, 6 people I once called family, sitting there with half-empty drinks and half-baked loyalties, and instead of shock or silence, they laughed like she dropped a punchline, not a confession. My heart didn't break in that moment, it hardened. And while her voice echoed around the table, something inside me just shut off. I didn't speak. I didn't flinch. I didn't cry. I stood up, tossed my keys in the air, caught them, and walked out. No scene, no goodbye, no explanation. Because when people show you who they are, believe them. That wasn't the night I got cheated on, that was the night I got free. I went home and didn't sleep. Just lay there staring at the ceiling, not because I was heartbroken, but because I was rewiring. My phone lit up with texts, but not one apology. Just fake concern. One said, "Hope you're good, man." Another said, "Let's not make it awkward." But they had already made it clear. I was nothing more than the punchline to their Friday night. And if they thought I'd disappear quietly, they didn't know who they were dealing with. I blocked them all, deactivated my social accounts, and erased every trace of that night except one, the memory of her smirk. That smirk lit a fire I hadn't felt in years. I wasn't going to get revenge. I was going to get undeniable. I called an old professor who once told me I had CEO energy. I signed up for night classes in cybersecurity, started running at 5 a.m., eating clean, cutting distractions, building muscle, building mindset, building a version of me that could walk into any room and command silence. I worked 14-hour days, consulting, freelancing, taking jobs no one wanted. While they were out at bars posting selfies, I was in the lab rebuilding my life brick by brick. I didn't need likes, I needed legacy. The transformation wasn't just physical. My confidence didn't come from compliments. It came from consistency. I dropped 20 pounds, cleaned up my skin, dressed better, not for approval, but because I finally respected myself enough to look like I mattered. I built my own consulting business. Clients who once ghosted me were now reaching out. I launched a clean, minimal website and let my results speak louder than my presence. Meanwhile, she was still with him, Caleb, the bartender with the pretty smile and no purpose. Her social media was full of soft-lit selfies, captions like, "Happiness looks like this." But even fake smiles start to crack, and I watched it all unfold quietly. No reaction. No response. Just progress. 2 months passed, and then came the shift. Her posts slowed, then stopped. One blurry IG story from a mutual friend showed her sitting in the back of a party alone. No glow, no Caleb. Just a girl in someone else's shadow. And then it happened, 32 missed calls in one day. Her name. Then Ben. Then Maya. Messages started flooding in. "You look amazing. Heard you started your own company." We were wrong. But I was already gone. Emotionally, mentally, spiritually gone. The man they betrayed was buried. What stood in his place was built in fire. I read her message, long, desperate, full of, "I'm sorry and I miss you." She said, "I thought I wanted excitement. I ended up with emptiness." And here's the part that hit the hardest. She didn't say she missed me. She said she missed who she was when she was with me. That's when I understood everything. She didn't just lose a boyfriend. She lost the version of herself that only existed because I believed in her. I typed my reply slowly, with zero emotion. "You didn't just choose someone else. You turned my pain into entertainment. You made me a show. I'm not mad. I'm not hurt. I'm just done." Then I blocked her. And for the first time, it truly felt like closure. Not because she finally apologized, but because I finally didn't need it. I realized that healing doesn't always come from hearing sorry. Sometimes, healing comes when you look in the mirror and no longer recognize the version of yourself that would have stayed. My success wasn't revenge. It was rebirth. Every run, every late-night study session, every network I fixed, every contract I earned, it all built a life so solid that even their regret couldn't shake it. And while they replayed their betrayal and guilt, I slept in peace. That's the real win. That's the kind of revenge no one sees coming. Not fire, not rage, just calm. Undeniable evolution. And now when people hear my story, they always ask, don't you wish you could show them who you became? And my answer is always the same, no. Because I didn't grow so they could see me. I grew so I'd never need to be seen by them again. Let them sit in the silence they once mocked me for. Let them choke on the echo of the man they thought they broke. Because the most powerful thing you can ever do to someone who doubted you is become everything they said you couldn't. And if you're hearing this, if this hits your chest like a truth you've been afraid to say out loud, then take this as your sign. Don't beg for closure. Don't fight to be understood. Don't shrink to make them feel better. Build, heal, focus, and become the version of you that wouldn't even open the door if they came knocking. Because they will. Oh, they will. And by then, you won't even flinch. That's not cold. That's clarity. So to the one who said, I wasn't enough. You were right. I wasn't enough for the boy you left me for. But I became too much for the man you'll never get to know. And I'll carry that truth with pride, not as a wound, but as proof that pain isn't where we end. It's where we begin. And maybe you're out there too, right now, with fresh betrayal bleeding in your chest, wondering if you'll ever feel whole again. You will. But don't wait for them to notice. Don't wait for them to come back. Don't give them the ending they expect. Give them silence. Give them distance. Give them the version of you they'll never be strong enough to stand next to. And when they say, you've changed, smile. Because that's the goal. Change so much that the only thing they recognize is how badly they misjudged you. And if you made it this far, if this story stirred something deep inside you, don't just scroll past. Tap like. Share it. Subscribe. Because somewhere, someone else is still sitting in that bar, still getting laughed at, still being told they're not enough. Let this be the fire they need. Because around here, we don't break. We rise. In silence. In power. In peace. And we never look back.